Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, there lived a young boy named Benny. Benny was a cheerful child who loved playing outside with his friends, but he had one big fear. He was terrified of the dark. Every night, when the sun went down and shadows crept into his room, Benny felt a knot of worry in his stomach. He imagined all sorts of scary creatures lurking in the darkness. One evening, after a fun day at the park, Benny's mother tucked him into bed. "Good night, Benny." "Sweet dreams," she said, turning off the light. As soon as the room went dark, Benny's heart began to race. He pulled the covers over his head, trying to hide from the shadows that danced on the walls. "What if there's a monster in my room?" he thought, his imagination running wild. Just then, he heard a soft rustling sound. Benny's heart pounded louder. "It's a monster," he whispered to himself. Suddenly, a gentle voice filled the room. "Hello, Benny," it said. Benny peeked out from under the covers and saw a small, fluffy creature sitting on his bed. It had big, friendly eyes and a warm smile. "I'm Shadow, the shadow monster. I'm here to help you with your fear of the dark." Benny was surprised. "You're not scary at all," he exclaimed, feeling a bit braver. "That's right. I'm just a shadow, and shadows can't hurt you. I'm here to show you that the dark can be a wonderful place," Shadow said cheerfully. "Would you like to join me on a little adventure?" Benny hesitated for a moment, but then he nodded. "Okay, let's go." With a flick of Shadow's paw, the room transformed into a magical landscape filled with twinkling stars and glowing moonlight. Benny gasped in amazement. "Wow, this is beautiful. See, the dark can be magical," Shadow said. "Let me show you some of my favorite things about the night." They floated out of the window and into the night sky. Benny saw the stars shining brightly, the moon casting a silver glow, and fireflies dancing in the air. "Look at all the wonders of the night," Shadow exclaimed. "The darkness is just a canvas for all these beautiful lights." As they explored, Shadow introduced Benny to other friendly night creatures, a wise old owl, a playful raccoon, and a gentle deer. Each of them shared how they loved the night and how it was a time for rest and adventure. "But what about the scary things?" Benny asked, still a little uncertain. Shadow smiled. "It's okay to feel scared sometimes. Everyone has fears, even the bravest creatures. The important thing is to talk about your fears and remember that they often aren't as scary as they seem." Benny thought about this. "So, if I talk to my mom or my friends about my fear of the dark, it might help?" "Exactly," Shadow replied. "And remember, you can always find comfort in the things you love." Whether it's a nightlight, a favorite stuffed animal, or even a comforting bedtime story, those things can help chase away the shadows. As the night went on, Benny felt more and more at ease. He realized that the dark wasn't something to be afraid of, it was just a part of life, filled with beauty and wonder. When it was time to return home, Shadow gave Benny a warm hug. "You can always call on me when you feel scared," Shadow said. "Just remember, the dark can be a friend if you let it." Benny smiled, feeling braver than ever. "Thank you, Shadow. I'm not afraid anymore." When Benny woke up the next morning, he felt different. The sunlight streaming through his window felt warm and comforting. He remembered his adventure with Shadow and how he had learned to face his fears. From that day on, Benny no longer hid under his covers at night. Instead, he embraced the darkness, knowing that it held magic and beauty. He even shared his experience with his friends, helping them understand that it was okay to be afraid sometimes, but that facing those fears could lead to wonderful adventures. And every night, as he drifted off to sleep, Benny would smile, knowing that Shadow, the friendly shadow monster, was always there, watching over him.